What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. I know it's been a while, but we are still playing Raid Shadow Legends. I took a little break after I finished my sponsorship to just relax, chill with the fam, but we're back on it. And we're going to be talking about Riho Bonespear because we have an event coming up for her. So why not? There's also going to be a 2x void, so decent opportunity to get her. She is an amazing champion for sure. Let's go ahead and look at her kit, see where we can use her, and yeah, just see if she can actually help your account. Now on her A1, she has a continuous heal. She's going to place that on the ally with the lowest HP for 1 turn. Also places a smaller continuous heal on all allies with 30 HP or less. This is a really strong A1. A lot of these stronger supports now have a similar A1. A2 places a stun on the target for 1 turn, as well as HP burn, decreased defense, you get weakened, you get a ton of debuffs. This is what she is mostly used for, so that you can get a ton of debuffs up on the Shogun as well as the Sand Devil. As far as the A3, she has a cleanse and she's going to place block debuffs. Again, a very strong skill, along with the AoE heal. And it's by their max HP, and you get a further 5% for each debuff removed, so a pretty solid heal in the A3. We love to get a cleanse and block debuffs, especially from our support. Cleanse by itself just isn't enough sometimes. Her passive ability also, makes her excel even more and allows you to use her in more places, because she's going to instantly transfer debuffs as soon as they are placed on her. They go right back to the attacker. So in dungeons like Dragon, against some of the bosses in Doom Tower that place debuffs, she's going to instantly transfer them. So makes her very, very solid option for support in a lot of the dungeons. You can use her. Right now, she's just in full perception. We do have a blessing on her as well, Brimstone, because Brimstone is very helpful. You can elect to take one of the other blessings if, say, you need a bit more healing. You want to heal, destroy max HP if you need somewhere, because she does heal. That's a solid option as well. You could also probably take something like Survival Instinct is a solid one. I'm not sure how this would actually work on her though, because she's going to be transferring the debuff, so it depends on how it's coded. This may or may not work out for you. Brimstone is always a solid option if you don't have a Brimstone option. And as far as total stats right now, just have some decent HP, solid defense. She's pretty tanky for PvE content. Decent speed at 278, some resist, and a good amount of accuracy so that she can place all of those debuffs. As far as the masteries goes, we pretty much have some standard support masteries. Going down into Eagle Eye, give her some more accuracy. Lasting gifts to extend the duration of the buff, so we want to extend block debuffs. We want to extend the continuous heal as well. Also Master Hexer to extend our debuff duration, because we want an extra turn on those. We're going to go down the defense tree, just get a bit more heals for, a bit more sustain for as well there. We're going to go ahead and take a look at probably the most popular place that she is used currently, and that's going to be the Sand Devil. A lot of people are using her to farm oil fast on stage 25. This is probably the most popular comp, using multiple nuts here. You got Siffy to sleep, Riho to debuff, Kymar to reset. It could be a faster comp, I'm not exactly sure, but this is probably the most common speed comp. And as you can see, Riho just places all of those debuffs. Those debuffs help us a ton because they're going to allow us to do more damage to the boss. The more debuffs you have, the more damage that you can do. And it is a very, very quick run, all enabled by Riho. There's very few champs that you can bring in here that are going to be able to, provide what she's providing, especially because she only has to hit 1 time in order to land all of these debuffs. Whereas, other champs, I've seen variations of this where people have been able to use Ramontu, who actually places a ton of debuffs as well, but he has to hit 4 times, which becomes problematic because you're going to mess up the slumber counter that the boss has when he is asleep. So Riho is the better option, like 1000%. People are also using her in Phantom Shogun, especially on 25. Obviously, I'm gonna run this comp on 24. I'm not sure it is 100% reliable on 25 just because Nut is off affinity, but as you can see, a very similar sort of setup here. We have a reset champion, we have our 2 DPS, we have Riho, and the mythical here is going to be providing us with taunt. We can just go in and run it pretty much. Riho is going to place all of our debuffs for us here. We're going to get damage from Nut. We're going to get the taunt here from the mythical, and he is going to keep that boss at bay while we do our damage, and it'll be over very shortly. More debuffs, and it's over just that fast. Now, these are the 2 most popular places she is used. I haven't seen a Riho used in arena probably since she came out. Some people used her around that time, but not since. She's not really in the meta. You can use her effectively on Hard Dragon stage 10 if you bring her in here. Obviously, this is a poison explosion comp setup. You can bring her in here and she will do something similar to what Stultus does, right? A lot of people use Stultus in Hard Dragon just because of his passive, which is very similar. It deflects debuffs right back onto the attacker, right? So poison, decrease defense, and weaken. Specifically for Riho though, it's going to be all debuffs. She's pretty much better. She's just a better option, right? Because she can go in and solo the boss as well very easily. Just because she has the heal, she also has the reflect. She's not used as much in Ice Golem in the end game just because there's almost not a spot for her in the lineup for the speed runs, but she can be effective as a support there as well. You need a ton of heals there. You're gonna need some debuffs as well. You don't want to do too much damage though to the boss. So I mean, HP burn, she does HP burn on her A2 there. You can put up HP burn with her. Stun, these other debuffs can also be helpful. Decrease attack, also going to be helpful. You can stun the ads on the side, but this is single target, so probably not the best example. The cleanse and block debuffs as well as the heal could provide you with a ton in Ice Golem as well, just because the boss is going to place decreased accuracy. You're going to get decreased defense. You're going to get heal reduction as well from the ads on the side, and she can help you to circumvent that. Essentially, she's not going to get any debuffs on herself, so that actually makes her a really strong support for Ice Golem Hard 10. She's pretty much providing the exact same thing that Elva is providing. And if you're running a speed comp with Elva and like R-Tag, you're not using the revive on that last wave at all. Essentially, you are only using the cleanse and block debuffs as well as the continuous heals on the A1. And Riho can provide you pretty much with that exact same thing. So the only thing that she's not bringing is, the amount of buffs that Elva is bringing on the waves. If you're using Seer to clear the waves, she can give you block debuffs. You can reset it, what have you, and that's just one buff. So you can honestly probably bring her in and just honestly replace Elva. It's not gonna speed it up in any way too much, just because they have a pretty similar kit as far as what they're bringing to Ice Golem, but a solid option there as well. All in all, Riho is a very solid support just because she can be used in so many places, especially in one build. You don't have to swap the gear, change speeds too much for her to do her job. She pretty much can work at this speed in pretty much everywhere where you're going to be using her. Even if you brought her into Hydra to just be a support for Hydra, a cleanser for you, a healer, she can put up some debuffs, especially if you have someone that can do debuff spread. She can be a very strong champion for you there, but probably not needed as much. If she is one of the few Legos that you have, you're probably using her everywhere. I would assume you would, because I would. That's going to be all for this one though, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this video helps you out a bit, and I will see you guys on the next one. Be good and be well.